Do you guys like Chinese food? I love Chinese food. We had Chinese food for Valentine's Day, and then the next day I was like, hey, let's have Chinese food. And then the day after that, we had leftover Chinese food. We're going to talk about Chinese food in a second. But first I want to say that the Compete Sports skirmish event that I'm hosting with Mitch from the Midtown Merchant, this Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. There's still like 10 spots to sign up. They opened up like double the slots because it sold out so fast. So head to the link. It's fleshandblood.com if you want to sign up for that skirmish event and win the awesome promos and hang out with Mitch and I as we kind of help navigate all the Discord stuff. And then Saturday I'll be streaming the last game, the kind of championship game. I don't know what time that will be. Hopefully it's not too late, but I'll be streaming that last game, so it'll be fun to watch that and see who the winner is. And then there's one other thing I wanted to say was, oh yeah, we hit 1,000 subscribers. We're celebrating on Thursday night. That's tomorrow night at 9 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live. We'll be giving away a box of Arcane Rising Unlimited, 24 packs, and then we'll be giving away 1 pack of a box of Alpha, and opening the rest of the box of Alpha on camera too. So make sure that you check that out at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Head to Cap Dane's Market. That's my new website. And at the top, there's like 1,000 celebration thing. We do free stuff on this channel. You know, Rudy kind of threw out a video yesterday against channels doing free stuff. We do it to celebrate, not to get subscribers. I do it to celebrate those who have subscribed. I hope that you're finding value in the channel other than the giveaways. If not, don't subscribe and don't be here, please, because I just want to help and add value. Anyway, we're going to talk today about leftover Chinese food. Really, we're going to talk about Arcane Rising First Edition, okay? And I talked about this a little bit with some of my patrons in my... So first off, this is not investment advice. I want to fully disclose that I do have a small position in Arcane Rising First Edition. I have a couple of boxes. It is less than 5 and more than 1. And so I just want to let you guys know that. And I also own 1 Alpha box. So I have a very small position, but I don't have the money to invest in bigger ones. I do have the podcast of if I were investing, and I kind of shared more of my thoughts in that podcast this week. But I wanted to publicly talk a little bit about Arcane Rising First Edition, because I think that Arcane Rising First Edition, this box right here, seems like the forgotten leftover Chinese food in your refrigerator, okay? It just seems like we've forgotten that it exists. It seems like that leftover Chinese food, it would taste so good, and it would be so good, yet we forgot it in our fridge, and then like 3 days later we come back to it and it's like, oh, should I eat that? Like, I don't know, like, it's 3 days old, but it looks so good. And so, like, I want to talk about Arcane Rising First Edition, okay? Currently right now in the market, all anybody is talking about is that Alpha boxes hit $4,000, like $4,000 for an Alpha box. It's amazing. Can't believe it. It's a bubble, whatever. So Alpha boxes, right? They had a huge trend up. If you watch my market update videos, you kind of can garnish this. But Alpha boxes had a huge trend up. Then they plateaued for like a second, and then they kind of started to slowly trend back up. After it hit like 3250 or 3500, it kind of plateaued, and then it's just kind of been a smaller trail up to now where we are at around 4 grand. Meanwhile, Crucible of War, we had a huge spike, and then we had a plateau as well. And that kind of, we had a little bit of a dip in Crucible when more boxes came to the market, but that dip was like one day we were selling for 600, and then like the next day Channel Fireball came in, and then we were plateaued. It didn't really dip hard down. It went down a little bit, but it didn't really dip hard down. And so now we're at Arcane Rising, and if you look at the Arcane Rising graph, it's like it had the same trajectory of WTR Alpha. And then, like, all of a sudden, it just spiked down. Like, in December, January, it was up. We had $2,000 sold listings. It was really $1,999 sold listings in January, like the first week of January. And I actually had an offer that week I had a box on eBay that I wanted to put up and try to get some money for the channel. And I had a box up on eBay. and I got an offer for 2,100, and I was like, oh, like, I think I'm just going to hold off because it seems like the trajectory is still going up. Well, I should have sold it then. Because then what happened is Channel Fireball came in and they put boxes at a flat level of like $1,500, a little bit less, I think. I can't, maybe it was $1,479. Anyway, at around $1,500. And that suppressed, like the price dropped, like literally one day boxes, the day that I got the offer, right, was like $2,000, right? And then literally the next day, boxes were at $1,500 because Channel Fireball came in with supply. And that's pretty normal. That's pretty common. We've seen that a lot in Flesh and Blood. We saw the same thing happen in Crucible War. But here's what happened. While WTR Alpha went like this and went up and then plateaued and then kept going up, Arcane Rising goes like this. It goes up and then it shoots down, and now we're on this like plateau on the bottom. And it's like, it seems like everyone's, and Channel Fireball doesn't have any more product on eBay. It's been a couple, it's been a little while since Channel Fireball's had product on eBay for Arcane Rising. And so I think it begs the question, like, why, what is the difference between these two boxes? Like, okay, like these two, 4,000 and 1,500 right now. What is the difference between those two boxes? Let's talk about the things that are the same, right? They have the same, what we believe, what most people believe, is that they have the same print run. The print run guess right now that I'm hearing a lot of people say is 22,000 boxes, but that both of the sets have the same print run. So in terms of like, does print run matter? That should be a non-issue. They should be trending similarly. I think if you look at the cards in the set, if you look at like the Eye of Ophidia and if you look at the Heart of Feyendel, they follow a very, 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 if you look at my videos, again, the market updates, they follow a very, very similar trend. Now, the difference is that the Eye of Ophidia is always just like a month behind, right? Like the trend is the same, but it's just about a month behind. And so if the boxes had that spike, you would think that if the value wasn't there, that the single, that Eye of Ophidia would also have that drop down. But it didn't do that. Like, it just kept going up. It kept following the trail of the heart. So it just kind of begs the offer. Like, I think you have to ask the question of what is really the difference? Like, this says first edition, and the other one is alpha. And I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, before you get mad at me, this will always be worth more money. It will always be worth money. My question is, how much more? How much will it be worth more? Because right now it's like 200% more. Is that really appropriate? Like, I don't know. I'm not the market. Like, I just want to feel the market. And like I said, like, I'm obviously, I won't even say I'm biased. I'm not that biased. I don't really care. I'm going to eventually sell. I'm probably going to try to do one box break. So I've never opened Arcane Rising. But I'm really not that biased. Like, I'm not going to, I really am not. What I'm trying to say though is I just don't see why this is 50% of the value if the print run is the same. The cards in there are the same. They've got the cold foils. It's got the Eye of Ophidia. It's got really good legendaries. It's got 4 different classes. I almost think, in my mind anyway, that we should be looking at these two things almost as one set, right? Like, almost as one cohesive unit. It would be really, really interesting. Maybe I should do it. But it would be really interesting. Somebody actually suggested this to me. If I were to track these two together and look at the valuation of the whole package of Arcane Rising and WTR together, because it really does fit the same thing. They really are two pieces to a puzzle. But I really see right now the market is not seeing that. It's not seeing them as two pieces of a puzzle. It's really seeing them as Arcane Rising is like the second edition, the second set. And that's just not really what it's like. Like, everything is the same there. All the print run changes happened in Crucible of War, not in Arcane Rising. Everything is the same here as WTR. Now, Crucible of War, that's another story, because they changed all the printing. Hypothetically, there's more boxes. They changed the way that the Majestics work. They changed there's cold foil Majestics that are short printed. I mean, everything changed in Crucible of War. So I don't think you can look at those two as the same direction. But in my opinion, Arcane Rising it's just in our fridge. It's just sleeping there. It's just being leftover Chinese food that we've forgotten about. So in summary, here's the thing. I want to know your thoughts. Like, here I am talking to you. I'm sharing my opinion. Again, I'm not telling you to go and invest in Arcane Rising First Edition. Arcane Rising First Edition at $1,700 or whatever it's at, 16, 15, it's still way too expensive for me. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy. I can't do that. If I had 30 grand, yeah, maybe, but I can't do that. Like, I can't do that for myself. So I want to know from you, why do you think that Arcane Rising is so significantly less? Now, please keep in mind, I'm not saying that they should be worth the same price, because the first edition, the first print, the alpha, like, obviously, like, that's going to hold some premium. But I want to know from you, why is it 50% right now? Like, why is it so much? It's even less than 50% of an alpha box, right? Like, it's like 35% of an alpha box right now. And so why have we forgotten ARC, and why has it not been as successful in the secondary market in the sealed boxes? So, love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Hey, remember to be kind to the people around you, and have yourself a great day. You know, make the best of it. Hey, sign up and make sure you check out tomorrow at 9 p.m.